Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me well. I understand it is still morning in Hawaii, and I'm calling in from another sunny place, Houston, Texas. And I'll be your speaker today. I recently spoke at DigiMarcon in New York and Washington and had a great time. I'm sure that you all are having a great time too, networking, making friends, and getting to know new people. This is always my favorite part of DigiMarcon. Uh, my other favorite part of DigiMarcon is sharing with you all what I am working on, what I have learned, and where the future is headed. So I will be sharing my screen with you, and let me do that now. Now, in my presentation, there are a few videos. The audio from my presentation may not fully come through. Um, Let me see here. Is that coming through this screen? Is the screen showing? Uh, just a little technical check. I don't. Okay, it says yes, all good. Because I'm not seeing it in my presenter console. Okay, so if everything is good, you should see the title slide, the Internet of Agents. And if everything goes well now, you should be able to see, it says all good. All right, so screen is black. That's what I was seeing too. So let's try this again. I'm going to share my screen and click share again. That doesn't work. Okay, let me go back and share a window instead. Maybe that will work. Let's do this. Okay, so it will be a little bit different because I'm in a window now, not in a tab. But let's make this work. So an important slide here is the QR code. So please grab the QR code. It will contain not one of my presentations, but two presentations. So I actually have a second presentation I sometimes give at conferences, which is full of great prompts and tips and growth hacks. And you'll want to grab that too. That will be in addition to the freebie you just got from going to Las Vegas. So you guys are really being set up to be spoiled. Now, Jedediah already did a great job of making the intros for me, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Let's dive straight in. Although I do want to ask you, my LinkedIn handle is there. Okay, on the screen, it would be right here. Okay, we'll remember that. On the screen is right here, my LinkedIn and Twitter handle. I hope you send me a connection request. I have several hundred people that are trying to connect with me, and I often don't have time to accept. But whenever I go to a DigiMarcon, I make an exception. So today will be a free-for-all. Everyone who sends me an invite will be accepted, and I will do that later tonight to give everyone time to connect. Okay, let's get into the material. This is going to be really quick, but I want you guys to just have a right frame of reference as you process the news. Narrow intelligence is when AI can do certain things in the world, but not as good as a human. Like, for example, your robot vacuum. It has a tiny world model of your living room, and it can vacuum, but maybe not as good as if you did it. But we also have narrow superintelligence. And these are text models, image models, video models, audio models, maybe even a chess model or one that can do math. And these models are specialized in one specific area. And because they are specialized for one area, we call it narrow. We call it super the moment it does something better than an individual human can. So it is narrow superintelligence. And the thing that the entire industry is looking for, the holy grail, if you were, is to achieve general intelligence. And when general intelligence arrives, it will combine all these things: world models, text models, image models, video models, things like that. Now, it is an expectation that the first general system will not necessarily be also super intelligence, meaning that it can do a lot of things. It is fully integrated with memory and with self-learning, but because it has to cover all modalities, it is not necessarily going to be better than humans in the first iteration. Um, but when it eventually grows up, then we talk about general intelligence of the super kind. This would be a model that can simultaneously do text image better than I can, image better than I can, audio better than I can, and so forth, all in one single architecture. And and this is kind of the road that we're on. Um, Now, a really thing about that word general, I want everyone to appreciate is that people talk about Neuralink as if it's somehow putting an AI chip in the human brain, but it's actually the opposite. It is the human brain learning how to send electrodes to a computer, and then the computer executing those commands. So Neuralink is not the AI controlling the brain, at least not yet. It is the human brain learning how to control a computer over electrical signals that the brain sends out, which is really marvelous. And there's this thing called the third thumb experiment. So if you all hold up your fingers in front of you, hopefully you have two thumbs. So the experiment would add a third thumb and implant this so that it would be able for the brain to be able to control that third thumb. And indeed, when in that experiment, the brain learned to control a third thumb. And so likewise, it is really spectacular, the human brain as an example of a general intelligence, that the thumb is almost like plugging in a keyboard or a mouse to your computer. The human brain can learn to control it. And you often see babies learning how to control all their limbs and body. And that is really wonderful to see. AI is very far from such a system. Today, we are training it just for this or just for that, or maybe for this and that, but it cannot adaptively learn. And so we're not really talking about the general system yet. However, there is something out there that already exists, which is called orchestration. And in the human history books, we talk about humans discovering fire or learning how to do metalworking or the wheel or the printing press. And we talk about these events in human history as very significant. And in essence, when an archaeologist digs up some fossil and they find tools nearby, they get very, very excited because they say, hey, this was a tool user. And this is kind of how we read history. Now, what about 2,000 years from now? How will people look back at this time in history? Well, they will look at AI and they will say, well, this is when AI learned how to use tools. This is the moment. And ladies and gentlemen, you're alive for this moment, because today an AI model might not be a general intelligence, might not be able to do everything on its own, but it is able to ask for help. It is able to use tools to accomplish its goal. And that creates a whole new world of opportunity. So what we're going to talk about today are things that are already possible now, not what is needed in the future. We do not need general intelligence in order to achieve these things. So here we have a simple example of a human wanting to create an image, and the AI model is not able to create an image, but it knows of an AI model that is specialized in image creation, and it simply passes the request along. When the image is ready, it returns it to the human. It can also do that across multiple tools. Maybe the user asks to generate an image and then turn that image into video, in which case our AI model says, I don't know how to do that, but I know an image model who can, and I know a video model who can. And so we call this orchestration. Today, a lot of AI labs want to sell you on the idea that perhaps they have invented artificial general intelligence. And that is not true. Uh, Today, they are selling these products. In the background, they're really working as orchestration agents. And we call agents AIs who are using tools. Essentially, that's the simple definition. So let's go and see how that can be applied. Here we have something called boosting click-through rates. And you all know that in internet marketing is not just about the information you transmit, but it is also about the emotion that you convey. So what are clicks trying to sell you? So sometimes I ask people in the audience to just think for a moment. The last time you shared something with a friend, think of the last post you shared with a friend. Why did you share it? Was there a funny post and you wanted to make someone laugh? Was it a shocking post and you wanted to have someone to share in your emotion? Was it something that was very informative and you thought about how much growth you would be able to achieve as a result of sharing that? See, I believe that great marketing is not just about conveying the right information, it is also about conveying it in the right emotion. So the idea is here, could we create, with AI agents, could we create a system that can analyze human emotion and for my specific topic, and then target it for better ads? So let's take a look at that. I created a SERP analyzer in under an hour. And the idea here is, what if you could get an X-ray vision into the emotions and intents that make people click on a keyword? So here we have a panel that shows the top search results and for any given topic. And then what it does is it displays the emotions like credibility, ambition, preparedness. It shows the keywords for that and more. So we built this app actually in SmithOS. And since I have the privilege of showing my screen with you all today, I think I can probably show you a few of these agents in my dashboard. Although I have another one set up, which I may be able to show in a moment. I'll show you another one. So one thing is I do have a video for this, and very important for you all is in this QR code in the document, I'm actually sharing the exact agent file. So you can download it and drag and drop it in your own Smith account, and you'll be able to access it. Okay, so that's really neat. Now, if I were to go to my next slide, you see here Lovable, and I believe my Lovable project is open. And you can see here my history of creating it. And here you can see a term I just clicked analyze, and here you can see the results. And you can see what comes up. And what's really neat is on the bottom, you can see where the results are. So in this case, most people who rank for project management would provide an informational intent copy that focuses its emotional axis around credibility. And then there's a few outliers like ambition. And also we have some navigational intent that is more about validation. So with this tool, you can know not just what to write, but how to write about it for higher click-through rate and higher engagement. And so first I created this agent in Lovable, and you can see it was just me prompting back and forth in under 1 hour. And then afterwards, I asked Lovable to integrate the Smith agent. that I had created. And we'll take you through what that looks like here in the video. Although there is no audio, I will talk through it. So it will unblur in a second. Okay, so let's go here and pause for a moment. So what you're looking at is an analysis agent with two skills: analyze keyword and compare content. So the first one, I have to retrieve somehow from Google the results here. These results come from Google. And the way I do that is by actually giving my agent a skill that can, given any keyword, that's the one that we enter here on top, project management. Given that keyword, it will send that to a Google search component, which will then be analyzed and returned. We'll then also have a secondary skill that can compare your content to the results we've got. And what does that look like? Here, I can enter my meta title and description. I can analyze that, and it will compare the two. So that's how that agent works. Now, the way I want you guys to think about it is that you can create agents, and you can also create front ends for those agents quite easily. So in Lovable, you create the UI, and then you provide the API data to Lovable, and it will integrate it. And that works because, well, I'll show you in a minute. Going on to a next project, which I also built under an hour, there was a paper we found in Nature magazine, which is an AI model that was trained on a psychology data set and aims to predict human behavior. And it does so much better than any general purpose language model. And you can kind of see the overlap with how humans would make decision. Now, when I saw that model come out, I didn't make it. I just saw that. I was thinking, well, like a marketer. And so I have to ask you in the audience, are you thinking what I'm thinking? No, serious. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? If there was an AI model that could be used to predict human behavior somehow, what would you do with that? So, well, what I want to do is I want to make a web app that will test my ads and predict which ones people were more likely to click on. Because I have to spend a lot of money on different web copy, on different ad copy, on different visuals, and I want to know which one would be better for my audience. And if I can simulate that somehow, then I can save a lot of time and a lot of money. So I discovered this on July 4th, and on July 5th, my colleague Aladdin sent me a link to the Nature magazine at 7:24, said, let's make an app. By 8:12, this app I'm about to show you was working. So how did I make it? First, I made the agent inside of SmithOS. And once again, I'm sharing that exact agent with you in the QR code document. What happened here? Well, we are going to first compare. No, we're going to first describe an image, because remember, we have to orchestrate. My AI model here, my Centaur model, does not know how to look at images. It's not a general system, right? It only knows how to compare pieces of text. So the first thing I will do is I will ask an AI to translate my image to text. And that is the describe image skill. The second skill I give my agent is to then compare the two descriptions, the two ad choices. It writes a prompt in the format that Centaur will accept, and I will provide a response. This agent took me less than 10 minutes to make. It is very, very easy to do. And so here's how that looks like. And actually, I have it right here. So this is in Lovable. You can see it's my chat history. Look at the chat, okay? One prompt here. Lovable thought for 19 seconds. I said, update the colors and make it a little bit more pretty. I said, use oranges, no purples. Okay, still a little bit more style. I said, update the text a little bit. And then I give it, here, I have an API that can do this. And then that turned the image to text. And then I have one that can provide analysis. And so this here is copy pasted straight from Smith. This is the Smith API. And it says, great, I'll integrate it. And pretty much here, I'm just doing a tiny little bit of making it look better. But that's basically it. So you can see here how quickly that all worked. This is maybe 7 or 8 requests in Lovable. That's it. So under 10 minutes to make the agent and maybe 7 chats in Lovable. And that's the only thing I did. So let's take a look at the video. So here it's taking you through the agent. And this one describes the image. You can see the prompts that were used. And then this one here writes the prompt in a format that the Centaur AI model works with. By the way, to use the Centaur model, you will need to subscribe to a provider that hosts it. In this case, I use Featherless AI. They were hosting that AI model. But let's try it out. So I can compare my 2 assets and then provide some persona background. So since I made this agent around July 4th, I figure let's compare this flag here to this flag here. And I take pictures with screenshots. I just paste it. And for the persona, I will take a patriotic policeman who is looking to wave or hang his flag for the 4th of July parade. And we're going to ask it to predict human behavior based to that specific model based on these 2 assets. Now, I did not create this model. I haven't tested it. It's not peer reviewed. But that's not the point of this talk. The point of this talk is a model was released within a day. I was able to, of discovering it, I was able to instantly put it to work in my business. And here, the analysis picks a winner. Now, I share the agent with you. That's what the QR code is for. And I look forward to anyone in the Digimarcon space. Maybe it will be someone from Hawaii. And you can tell me a month from now, a year from now, hey, Alexander, I took this agent you built. I tested it out against my data. And the Centaur model actually does a good job at predicting human behavior. And I saved $100,000. The agent is yours. It's in the document. What you can build with SmithOS is virtually unlimited. And this is normally the part where I move on a little bit and talk about how you can not just orchestrate tools, but you can also orchestrate entire teams of agents, much like human teams. But since I had this presentation, I actually have been building something else, and I keep building cool stuff. So I'm wondering, in the audience, if you want to see something I built this week, I think you'll want to see it. It's kind of cool. This idea came to us from a team member, and you can see it here, sparkly content. And sparkly content, let's open that project. Let's open this up here. It has a really cool, page to it. Stop creating boring content. Turn trending news into viral social media posts that actually convert. No more writer's block, no more boring content. And it promises 10 times faster content creation, higher engagement, and posts generated. I asked Lovable to help me write the copy for this in the style of Alex Hermosi. There's a book on my shelf behind me called The $100 Million Offer. And I love that book. It's called The $100 Million Offer. It essentially says, make an offer so good that they will feel stupid for saying no. And if you can do that, it is very easy to sell a lot of it. And it did a really good job at writing persuasive content here. Ready to stop sucking at content. That's really that's really it's really interesting. And it made a beautiful sign-in page. Now, in fairness, I did spend probably 3 hours getting the CSS right in Lovable. Um, I think I used it wrong, but I'm sure you guys can do better. But this tool here, I actually want to show how it works because it's kind of cool. So I think I loaded it up. Let's see here. Where do I have it? Do I have it here? Okay, I think I have. Let's try this. I go to publish. Okay, I got a URL here. Let's go here. I need to sign in, and I probably logged in another tab because the login system actually works. Um, in fact, you can probably try it yourself during the conference. The URL is sparkly-content.lovable.app. Okay, it doesn't charge money yet. It's just a cool thing we built this week. And the first thing I can do is like, what's trending that you want to talk about? And I'm going to say new Mercedes. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so here I have all the posts that are ranking for that in the news story. And this tool can look at both news this week as well as things that are this today. So if I click on it, I can see what post it references. That's cool. So I'll just pick this one here, and it's going to cover a Mercedes AMG. So I will create, I will now ask AI to generate an image prompt for me, and then it will create a text prompt. And now you may wonder, okay, where did this text come from? Well, I will show it to you here in a moment. I need to probably, okay, here we go. This image here comes from, let's see here, suggest image prompt. So my agent takes the image and then generates an image prompt here and returns it. And that's how that works. So I have a post here. So I'll do this, but I want to edit it. So I'm going to say the GT track sports car. I want to make it more specific, and I can finish editing it. Now here I can choose my style for my post and the font. I'll leave it at the default for now, and I'll click create image. And so while this is working, what's happening in the background is it is calling on this skill, generate image, which is using an AI image generator here called Imagen4 to generate that post. So here I have it, elegance in every curve, and it wrote this post for me just like that. And if I don't like the image for some reason, I can just click regenerate, and it will go back to the agent, and it will call that skill again. And here we have a new picture. And you know, that looks beautiful. It really does. So now I can just copy this text and copy the image, and it will be ready for me to post to social media. There's nothing stopping me from adding another skill that would post it for me or add it to a content calendar. And this entire project, I have my library of posts here, the ones that I saved. Look at these posts, gorgeous. This entire project took about 5 hours to make, and most of that was spent honestly with a little bit of CSS back and forth, but it does not require real coding experience. If you want to do this yourself, This is really short on a hour-long conference call. We are launching an initiative at SmithOS. I'll show you. I'll show you our website. There's a new thing we're launching. It's not quite advertised yet. It will probably start being advertised in the next week or so. But we created something called Smith Forged, and you can find that on our website, smithos.com. You go to community, then Smith Forged. And the idea is that we want people to submit projects like I just showed you that they made. And we're just starting this. This page has only been live for a few days, and I'm still building the tutorial stuff. But very soon you'll find the tutorial stuff here. And what's really neat here is actually let me just do the sign in for a moment. And I'm going to email myself. And I need to open my other browser to get the code. Okay, I've got the code on the computer. I will paste it in here, and I'm logged in. Okay, so I'm logged in right now, and I want to show you this. So if I go to my profile page, you will see we have a number of things. First, you can get a free month of SmithOS. Although, if you're on this conference, there's actually even better offer, and the coupon for this conference, which will last for 5 days until August 1st, is the word conference in all caps, and that will give you 2 months free instead of 1 month free. But we have that, and then we have a portal here for free stuff to build with, and it will take you to here, to our deals page, and you will see all the tools that you might want to build agents with are already here, and you will get them completely free. There's tens of thousands of free stuff in here. No purchases required from our end. You can look at what the deal is. There's tens of thousands of dollars of free stuff here. So check that out. You can get it from Community Smith Forged and then in your profile page. If you publish things here, we'll also have an affiliate program where you can earn. Now, enough said about that. We are building tutorials. The sparkly content that I just showed you, Content Spark, we're intending to give you both the agent that powers it, as well as the actual lovable page where you can see the project and work with it. So and a video of how we built it, and that will be published here under the tutorials very soon. So that is what you can do with agents and orchestration. So very soon we're orchestrating not just tools, but entire teams of agents. And we did that here. Actually, instead of just showing it to you on a screenshot, let's show it actually in the product. So I have a team here called Emerson, and in here you can see I have all these agents, and to see here by date created, then they're going to be more grouped. And so here you see all the agents. Now, this is an entire content team. For example, the outliner agent, and I'll open it in a new tab. The outliner agent will research your competitors and create a perfect AI article outline. The writer agent will then write that article. And we have Artie. Artie will source images for you to add to the article. Tabby will find tables that can be added to the article. Tweety will find social media posts. YouTuber will find YouTube videos that can be relevant for your article. Finn will put it all together and edit and approve it or discard it. And Marshall kind of is the team manager. He's quite intense. He kind of pulls everything together. Now, Refresher is the agent that will keep your articles up to date, because everyone knows Google likes fresh content, and it will fact check the articles going forward. So let's take a look at a few of these agents. I have Outliner here. You can see here the process. We've got the writing agent here. Um, this is doing a lot. Um, some of it is like with loops and searching multiple times until it finds something good. Um, and then finally, you can see it all returning outputs. It even connects to WordPress and handles all the posting for me. Although Writer only posts in draft, it's not until Finn gives its stamp of approval. And then we have Artie, and I think Artie is still loading. Um, I won't wait for it. I think you guys get the point. Um, yeah, normally on stage, it's hard for me to show my screen like that, so you guys can peek behind the screen. It's one of the benefits you have. Okay, let's take a look here. So this is going to be really quick. There's different types of agents. And I want you guys to just mentally be ready for this. Just like I told you how to think about the mental framework to have for general intelligence and all the buzz that comes your way. I also want to give you some words, some terminology, some definitions that you will be able to use in the coming years in your agency, in your business, in your company, and in your life. Words that can express important things, concepts. So I want to divide agents up in three different kinds of agents. Okay. And the first one is personal agents. Those are the ones you interact with, kind of your orchestrator deluxe. Okay. Just like the manager that deals with everything else for you. Then you have the brand agents that represent companies like your car, your hairdresser, the restaurant, um, or a store that's trying to sell you things. And process agents are agents that do stuff, do work, uh, and they all have their own job to do. But you'll see them really, really in the workplace. Okay, so in the consumer space, personal agents will be really hot. In the marketing space, brand agents will be really hot, and in business, process agents will be really hot because uh, they can help scale businesses far beyond humans can. So personal agents are going to be, this is not something that's going to be won by an individual company. The real key here is distribution. The companies with the most distribution, devices, hardware people already use, they are going to win that. Um, Siri, Gemini, Alexa, Meta Assistant, and very, very near future, in the next 2 to 3 years, you will not just interact by voice in an earpiece with your agent, but you'll also be able to see them. Maybe even in your smart glasses, they'll be sitting right next to you in your office or with you in the car when you're driving. They'll walk around your space, they'll interact with you. You can show them, point at things that you're looking at, and they will understand and remember what you're pointing at, and everything will feel like you have someone with you. This is the new Google. This is the new gatekeeper, the new browser, so to speak. And it's a very important frontier for marketing. You're not going to own this. If you're trying to compete with Google and Apple as a startup, you're not going to win this. But as marketers, you are going to want to optimize for them, just like they are the different search engines of tomorrow. And you want to make sure that these personal agents know your business and will represent you. Maybe even connecting the personal agent might even introduce your brand agent to their customer. Brand agents will be everywhere. Brand agents could answer questions like, what's the miles per gallon on the latest Camry? Or they can help you rent a home on Airbnb. Or they can answer you what the popular stories are. Even answer support questions. So the interface becomes the agent. And the agent can take on the form of a virtual human. It can also render a web page dynamically on the fly. I call this dynamic server-side generation. It is your company's job to be ready and prepare a brand agent SmithOS is a platform that allows you to create brand agents as well as process agents. Now, you may wonder, how do I create agents? That sounds difficult. Let's go to a separate space. I want to keep things clean. And let's create an agent. I have really no idea what I'll create, but let's do something, because I made this before and I know it. Create an agent that can analyze my problem prompt query and turn it into a step-by-step uh, mermaid diagram. Let's see. I also want you to figure out how to. I don't know what else to think of. Let's just stick to this one. You can actually do quite complex. You can do quite complex work with SmithOS. So it's going to go and create an agent. This entire process will take about 20 seconds from beginning to end. So we get into SmithOS and it created an agent. It creates an action plan and is thinking through the assignment right now. It is thinking about anything that it might miss or need from me. Let's give it a moment to run live. Okay. It asks me for things, but I say make your own choices. This is what model should I use? I said I don't care. Pick something. And here you see it starts drawing components. It added a skill called generate diagram and then sent it to an AI model to analyze the problem and then outputs the result. It's still checking the quality of the output. It discovered an issue and it fixed it. Okay, let's take a look at the output. So if I look at this problem analyzer, you see I have analyzed this and turn it into a mermaid, and this will actually work. So we're done. This is how easy that was. Now you have all these components. You can drag and drop stuff as well to the canvas, and you can also look in integrations. There's plenty of integrations already out of the box. So either you chat with it, you drag and drop, or you use integrations. Anyhow, this is how easy it is to create agents with Weaver. What I want everyone to understand about the future is that agents are changing the world. They're changing the internet. And at SmithOS, we have the privilege of working with Cisco, the Linux Foundation, on implementing standards of communication that give rise to the next internet. Now, you are all here because a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, somebody invented HTTP and REST protocols, right? We have ICP, TCP/IP. We have HTTP protocols. They are enabling the current internet. Now, you don't need to know anything about these protocols to be able to use the internet to benefit. I mean, if you watch Netflix tonight, you don't need to know how TCP/IP works, right? But having access to it will give you a lot of value. And today, new protocols are shaping up that handle how agents work together. For example, Model Context Protocol is a standardization. Think of it like your power plug. How annoying is it when you travel that your plug doesn't work in the other country? How annoying is that? That's because we don't have a global protocol. Right? MCP creates that power plug protocol that makes sure that agents can talk to tools in a standardized way. agent-to-agent protocol makes sure that agents can speak to other agents and collaborate. Think of the content team I showed you. By the way, that content team is capable of producing more than 2,000 pieces of content per week with a single human. And it is actually being very useful in our marketing department. But agent-to-agent protocol standardizes how they work together. And of course, our tool SmithOS is designed so that you can have those protocols already built for you, and you don't have to worry about it. So agent gateway protocol, all these protocols are shaping up a very exciting internet. And it's very interesting to observe that when the first internet standards were being formed for the internet that you know today, it took more than a decade, sometimes longer, before people would even agree. Lots of debate. And AI is going so fast that when somebody puts out like a really good protocol, companies tend to galvanize around it and adopt it really, really, really quickly. Like the rise of MCP and A2A adoption has been astronomical. So thank God we don't have all different power plugs when it comes to agents. And we see the Internet of Agents shaping before our eyes at lightning speed. It's really something to behold. But what does that mean? Well, I want you to all to just remember this, okay? The website becomes the brand agent. Your website becomes the brand agent. So today, people have to go to your website to get information. Tomorrow, they'll go to their personal agent, and the personal agent is going to interview your brand agent or connect the customer to your brand agent. And then from there, the personal agent or the brand agent can render a website, generate a website. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there are now AI models that can generate games real time. I will see if I can, let me see here. Okay, so I'll show it to you just so you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, you all have seen Flappy Bird before, right? So you may think here that, okay, this is a coded web page, but that is not true. This is not a piece of software. What this is instead is it renders with AI, generates with AI in real time. So there is no such thing as a Flappy Bird game that's coded here. It was kind of imagined by AI depending on what you click on. And it keeps turning off. But this is what you call here Flappy Bird diffusion world model. This is getting better and better and more sophisticated. And very soon, we will not have to code websites anymore. Experiences will be real-time generated for us. So when I entered the workforce in 2004 after university, I remember wanting to build. I was a young man wanting to make money, right, and make some business. I remember telling people, I can build your website. And I still distinctly remember people telling me, why do I need a website? I have Yellow Pages. People call me, people find me through Yellow Pages. Why do I need a website? Now, today that may seem like humorous, right? But could you imagine a world where we do not need websites anymore? Where websites are like Yellow Pages. And that is what I just showed you with the Flappy Bird. That was not an actual game. That was created, imagined by the AI in real time based on the taps, based on the user input. And so the brand agent's job is to give the users the best personalized experience no matter what questions they have. And sometimes that may be taking the form of a website. Sometimes that can take the form of a phone call that's being answered. Sometimes that takes the form of an email. Sometimes it's in WhatsApp. Sometimes it is going to be a full holodeck virtual experience inside of VR where you can look at the car you're about to think of purchasing, and the brand agent will be at the center of that. This is what websites are becoming. And if browsers are becoming personal agents, you may wonder, how will marketing work for that? Well, the good news is that, and I've learned this as well in my many years of working in the industry, nothing old is ever really truly gone. And when you know how it used to work and you understand it at its core and its principles, you're able to adapt this to new paradigms. You're able to understand these fundamentals. For example, I will make this concrete. We all understand the importance of optimizing your site for how fast it loads. And we know the impact of a fast loading website. We know that if your website takes 3 seconds to load, 30-40% of people are going to click away before it even loads because they're impatient, right? So what do you think is going to be important for brand agents? Do you think people are going to want to wait 3 seconds for your brand agent to respond? Well, obviously, they're going to prefer a brand agent that responds right away. And that right there is your technical SEO. What about the quality of the articles or the quality of the answers that your brand agent returns? Well, that's the equivalent of experience, expertise, authority, and trust. That's your site's reputation. That's your brand agent's reputation. So optimizing the quality of your brand agent. What about user engagement metrics? RUM, real user metrics. Well, that also translates to brand agents because that is how you design it to be more engaging and more interesting. So all of this is just to say that we're entering a whole new chapter in digital marketing. And everything you think you know is going to change, but everything you already know is going to be useful because it will have an analogy in this new world. And so your skills will translate in this new paradigm. A lot of people fear job loss with AI. The only thing you should fear is that you somehow do not learn these new paradigms and you fall behind. And you are in 2025 still telling people to buy Yellow Pages ads. That is what you should fear. But the good news is that everyone's a noob. I go to a lot of conferences and I am still stunned at how AI literacy is still developing. You would think it's a lot farther than it is, but not everybody lives and breathes AI 24/7. People like to be comfortable. They like to do what they know already. And you guys in the audience, you can make a difference in your career. Be that person that is understanding where the world is heading and prepares for it. So this is all going to realize what we call the open internet of agents. This is about your brand agent working with my brand agent while you and I are at the beach somewhere. Or maybe the fancy thing to say to people in Hawaii is not the beach. Maybe it is more like skiing together or something. the beach is quite a great idea. When I grew up in Belgium, people think of going to a tropical beach as like the ultimate luxury, right? Or going skiing or something. Uh, the stories people tell when they come back from a trip. But we are seeing that this Internet of Agents is shaping before our eyes, and I have good news for you guys because we already talked about the coupon conference that will last until August 1st, and you will have 2 months of free Smith OS. So no excuse not to try it out. Um, but this is the good news I was referring to. We actually have a open source project, and I'll load it here. It's also here in the QR code. We'll have the link. Um, if you are a developer, give us a star, please. Um, it has tutorials and everything. It is MIT licensed, okay? That means it's actual open source, not fake open source. Like projects like N8N are not open source. They are commercial license. You have to pay them to use it for your business. You don't have to pay to use our technology. Now, yes, if you sign up for Smith OS, we host it for you. We do all these services for you. You're paying for hosting, you're paying for service, for convenience. But if you want to just use Smith OS for free, you can do that too. So get it from here. And then most importantly, say hello and follow. So let me think for a moment, because I have 5 minutes here, and we'll have some time for Q&A. And I believe the organization of Digimarcon, it's really wonderful. They do a good job interacting with audiences. So collect your question, give it to the MC, give your question along, and I will see it in chat, and I can answer it. And we still have 5 minutes. And in the meantime, I want to show you, okay, because we have this document that I shared with you. There's a QR code. It will contain everything you need to connect with me, the links, link to the GitHub project where you can get the open source code, the coupon code, the agent I made for emotion analysis, the agent I made for A/B predictor. The only thing is, to run this, you'll actually need to get access to that Centaur model. So this one is free to use. This one, you just need to sign up for that Centaur model. I'm giving a bunch of prompts. I have another presentation which I won't be presenting today, but because I did this one. But in here, let's see here, I have the keynote presentation. I do have my AI growth playbooks deck, and you can download it. It's for free. But while I'm doing this, I'm waiting to see questions in the presenter chat. If there's a question, I will answer that.
Yeah, if anyone has any
I'm
questions,
giving you guys a number of prompts. And one of the prompts here is to deep research someone that you're maybe pitching to. And this is a really good idea when you have a high stakes engagement. Give it to AI, and then after the deep research is done, put it in a voice conversation and talk to that person, try to pitch them your idea and see how they respond. This will help you win your next large contract, land your next job, or get that VC money that you so desperately need. I like this prompt here as well, to create a design system. This allows you to create a JSON document that describes the style of a target website. And you can use that in Lovable to replicate that style. Okay, well, there's an appendix here as well. So I think that was good for this presentation. I would love if you could connect with me If you like this presentation, say hello to me on LinkedIn, because it's kind of lonely presenting in front of a webcam. I very much prefer the energy of a crowd. And I just want to thank you all for being here. DigiMarcon is a global conference, which means that you can connect to people from around the world. Use your hashtags for DigiMarcon on social media. That's the best way to find other people who have attended and see what they write about. And you might connect with people globally. When you have access to the Las Vegas conference, you also have wonderful talks. In my time working with DigiMarcon, I can say that they consistently impress me with many of the quality speakers that come to their conferences. And I always learn a ton myself. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And it was a pleasure meeting with you. I hope this landed well and was received well over camera. I wish I could be there to shake your hand, but the next best thing I can do is say hello on LinkedIn. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you, everyone.